Hi there guys, welcome back to Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. Us, Lily and Hanako, are going out somewhere for lunch, so we'll see where we go. So we leave all three together. Lily walks beside a wall, letting her cane gently tap against it every now and then. Hanako comes along right beside her, so close she is practically half hugging her as they go. Although it must make her walking that much harder. Lily takes it in stride. As we turn around the corner of the hallway, something hits me in the chest with the force of a steam train. Hanako shrieks a little, and my vision briefly goes black. Ouch. Opening my eyes, I see a pair of saucer-like green eyes looking up at me. They belong to the perpetrator, a short girl who bumped into me and has now fallen down on the hallway floor. She wears a PE uniform that is, and a worried frown. The former strikes me as a rather strange thing to have on during lunch break. More striking than that, though, is that she doesn't have legs. Or she does, but they're not flesh and bone. Her pale and very much flesh and bone thighs end in shins and feet made of black metallic or plastic-like material. They look disturbingly artificial and unnatural. It almost makes me forget that my chest is hurting. The girl winces a little, rubs her nose, and jumps up. Aw man, hey, are you alright? I'm sorry about that, really. I wasn't looking where I was going, and you just came out of nowhere. Sorry. She's looking really apologetic in the hurt puppy way of looking apologetic. I quickly forget about being angry or anything, since hurt puppies are my weak spot. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Oh, ouch. Oh, that's not good. I say that, but there's a stinging pain growing in my chest. And I know that this is about possibly the biggest possible danger of my condition. Don't overexert yourself. Don't forget to take your medicine. And most of all, don't get hit in the chest. I try rubbing my solar plexus to chase the pain away, holding my breath in an attempt to hear my heartbeat. Seems normal. Hey, should I get the nurse? The worried, high-pitched voice of the girl snaps me out of it. I stare at her for a few moments dumbfounded, until I realize I probably looked worse off than I really was, doubled over in pain and looking all tense. Damn, I'm overly worried about my heart. No need. I'm fine. Managing to say something in response, I pull myself upright, feeling my sore ribs one last time and take a deep breath. She just knocked the wind out of me. Big time. But it's nothing more than that. You sure you're okay? I hit you pretty hard. It's okay. I said I'm fine, and nothing's broken. No harm done. That's good. Sao, what happened here? She's not quite up to speed for obvious reasons, but sounds very worried. More than what the situation deserves, really. Someone just bumped into me. Nothing serious. Just winded. Sorry, it's my fault. I was just trying to get some stuff, and I was kind of in a hurry. That someone here is Emmy, isn't it? The little girl coughs quietly and shuffles her plastic or metallic feet, looking down at them before saying anything. Hi, Lily. Hanako. I guess the girls know each other. Do please try to be more careful. You might be sturdy enough to endure these sorts of accident, but there are people here who aren't. The girl blushes and starts to fidget nervously like a little child caught misbehaving. It's so cute, I find myself smiling. I know that. I was just... I gotta go! Teacher'll have my head. I promised to help with the printouts, but instead I went running. Sorry, but I gotta change and everything. Zoom! Before any of us say a thing, Emmy has bolted away, leaving the hallway eerily quiet. Does that kind of thing happen often around here? There are more rules in Yamako than usual for running in hallways. But that rarely stops Emmy, it seems. She shakes her head weakly and offers a slight composed smile. I don't think there's anything we can do to stop her, I'm afraid. Shall we be off then? Lily heads off along the hallway and Hanako hurries after her. The route to the room the two use for tea is fairly simple to retrace, still being fresh in my mind from yesterday. Lily and Hanako quickly go to business of making lunch. Before I can even open my small bag of food, Lily's busying herself with her thermos and tea bags as Hanako is setting out their lunch boxes. So, is this what you mean by coming here almost every day? Yes, Hanako and I usually have lunch here. It suits both of us, so we ended up using this room regularly. After seeing Hanako's reactions to me over the past couple days, I can understand why that is a boon. That and Lily being able to get some quiet away from her class as well. I take my seat last after Lily's poured the tea for us and sits down. The last time I spent with these two girls, oh my god, I cannot read. The more time I spend with these two girls, the more I think they're a perfect foil to Misha and Suzune. Without a voice, Shizune is direct and brash, and Misha seems to get along with everyone. On the other hand, Lily is soft-spoken and relaxed, while Hanako seems to be the shyest girl I've ever met. So, how are you faring in Yamaku, Hisao? You seem a bit flustered. Apart from getting lost every now and then, and being crash-tackled outside my classroom? Fine, I guess. You looked pretty hurt before. Are you really okay? For a moment, I considered telling Hanako and Lily about my condition, but then I hold it back. I can't tell why, but for some reason I feel uncomfortable talking about it to these relative strangers, even if they have been pretty friendly. Yeah, it's nothing. I was just a bit startled. Judging from these two girls' expressions, I don't think they buy it. But in what I assume is their way of respecting my privacy, they don't press the matter. I guess that is one of the unwritten rules around here. Don't ask. Even if people's conditions are obvious, like Hanako's, there's bound to be a story involved. Everyone has things that they don't feel comfortable speaking about, and I think everyone here recognizes that. So, how long have you been in the school? You both seem to know your way around pretty well. Well, I've been here since the start of high school, but only moved into the dormitories a year ago. Hanako joined the start of high school as well, and moved to the dormitories when she did. Moved to the dormitories when she did. Oh, at the start of high school. And moved to the dormitories when she did, if memory serves right. That's right, since high school. So you've known each other since then? Since I moved, yes. Hanako lives next door to me, so it's only natural, right? Right. Yeah, of course. Living next to someone is probably reason enough to befriend them, though I'm guessing Lily's blindness played a part in that as well. I can't imagine Hanako easily making friends with someone who has to deliberately avoid looking at her scars. With the immediate conversation dried up, we start to eat our lunch. It isn't long before the bells are signaling the end of the break. Like me, the girls pack up their lunches as efficiently as they set them out. I guess I'd better be off. Are you going with Hisao, Hanako? Hanako looks up at me, and for a second I can see that she is considering skipping class, maybe just to avoid walking to the classroom with me. Yes. I don't know what to think of it. Hanako is really delicate to the point of breaking if someone looked at her the wrong way. Makes me a bit nervous too, but I push the feeling aside, trying to be as natural as I can. We should hurry then. Class has already started by the sound of it. Lily gives a nod of farewell as she bends down to take her cane. Hanako and I filing out before her. We walk quickly down the empty halls to our respective classes. As we reach the door to Lily's 3-2 classroom, she turns to me. Hisao, thank you for sharing lunch with us today. My pleasure, Lily. And with that, we part ways, Lily entering her classroom, and leaving Hanako and I to make off on our own. She's still looking like she wants to run away. So, do you really want to go back to class now? Yes. Okay then. I feel I should say something more to her, but it's hard to come up with anything that would be appropriate and safe enough. And Lily was right. The more time we spend out here, the more explaining we have to do. I open the rear door to the class and walk in. The teacher looks up at me and opens his mouth to say something. However, Hanako follows me in and closes the door, simply nods to us and continues his lecture. This is the third time that Hanako has had her truancy practically ignored. There's definitely something going on here. We make our way to our seats, and I notice that Misha and Shizune are both missing as well. I wonder if there's some sort of formal agreement with the staff, or if it's a perk afforded to the unique students of this school. Trying to make as little disturbance as I can, I extract the relevant textbooks from my bag and start catching up. Class goes on quietly. The teacher seems like an okay person despite the weird first impression I got, and the material is relatively interesting. However, the way he teaches it is really bizarre. It's as if he expects everyone to be a natural-born genius. When the final bell sounds, I realize there is still a lot of time left in the day. I'm left wondering what to do. It's odd. At the hospital I had 24 hours a day of free time, but here filling out the considerably shorter hours feels difficult. Everyone else leaves and I'm left alone with the teacher. Muto is examining the assignment sheets we worked on earlier, marking them with a red ballpoint pen. Raising his eyebrows from his papers briefly, he noticed me and furrows his brow. What is it, Nakai? I jump at him addressing me, but I guess it's natural to spark some conversation since there's no one else around. Nothing. Thinking about what I do after school. The teacher slowly puts the cap on his pen he is holding and arranges his papers into a stack, clacking it against the desk twice. He seems very methodical, and for a brief moment I'm reminded of Shizune, but the teacher is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routined. You have no plans? No, I consider joining a club, but don't know what kind of club would interest me. Go observe a meeting of someone else's club. Might pique your interest. I guess. I don't know where to continue on from here. Muto looks at me in a way that makes me quickly want to take the words back to avoid a conversation. But I can't, so I have to forge on ahead. I just don't know how to deal with people. I mean, the other students. I'm talking to people and everything, so it's not like I've been isolated or anything. I just don't know what to think about the disabilities. It's like, it feels like I'm being impolite if I pay attention to them, and it's weird to ignore them. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. The teacher scratches his cheek absentmindedly, looking very unresponsive. These things are only an issue if you make them one. You can talk normally with someone even if they're blind or something. Try to look behind the superficial. There's not a single student here who isn't just a normal kid behind whatever they might seem to be at first glance. Said the same thing as Yuko did. I know they're right, but it's hard. How can you not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness, where the only way to communicate with her is to talk through Misha? Or Hanako. It's not like you can ignore her face. But I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom suddenly slamming open. Teacher! Misha crashes in, hands straight in an enthusiastic greeting, her voice loud and lively enough to wake the dead from their graves. She starts walking towards the teacher's desk with bouncing step, hands energetically swinging in rhythm. Muto, visibly dismayed at the interruption and Misha in general, slumps in his chair. Mikado? Misha stops in her track and looks around cluelessly, as if she's sensing from his tone that something's wrong, but has no idea what. Yes? We have talked about the volume control before. Yes! But she doesn't lower her voice at all, and the teacher just rubs his eyes. So here's the thing. Apparently, Misha's disability is never actually stated outright, and some people think it might be, I don't know if I brought this up in Let's Play yet, it might be actually she's on the autism spectrum because of this line. It's never said. It's never said in the game what her disability is. So that's interesting to think about for sure. So what is it? We need your help. We're running out of supplies for the festival stands. This is a distress. She waves a pink slip of paper she's holding around. So, go get more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that? Plywood. Plywood is always the problem. Last we checked, we wanted more, and last time we wanted more, there was only a little, but that time we just took it all and went with that. Now there's like none left, so do you know where there is some? I don't understand. How would I know? The president thought a teacher would know where there is plywood. Was she wrong? Muto looks like he is in great pain, frowning with his entire essence, and Misha doesn't get it at all. Looking at the two of them communicate is terrible, like looking at a man being tortured by drilling his skull open while blasting pop music at full volume at the same time. I'm afraid I have no idea if there's any plywood in the school, let alone where it would be if there was any. What should I do? Perhaps try to find Mr. Namoya? I'm quite sure he would know where to find everything you need. You'd have to pry them from his cold, dead hands, but that's a different matter. I don't have time! We are so busy! She holds her head with both her hands, looking as despairing as possible for a person like her. Without even noticing, she crumples the note she's holding against her hair. I shouldn't even be fetching these things. There's so much to do and we are falling behind the schedule. Muto looks at her gravely and then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't really fit his face. I think it'd be better if he didn't. I wonder if you could get some, temporary help. He switches to staring at me focusedly with a hard expression, as if just trying to say, go make some friends. I guess I can give you a hand. You can? Thanks, Hee-chan, you are really nice. She pauses and does a double take, and then points at me with her finger, yelping and looking very puzzled. Come to think of it, what's Hee-chan doing here? Class is over. You should be having fun. We just had a little chat. Oh no! It's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, Hee-chan? No, I'm not. Is Hee-chan in trouble, teacher? No, he's not. Muto sighs deeply, and I feel like I have to help Misha to get her off the teacher's back. So what do you need? Here's a list. I can try to find a plywood from somewhere if there's none in the art room. She offers me the note she's holding. I take it, hesitating a bit. I said I'd help you, but this has no implications on whether I'm joining the council or not. Aww. Still, thanks, Hee-chan. Try to be quick. We are in a stall building streak now. We must hurry, hurry, hurry. She bounces out of the classroom, leaving me and the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement. Well, there you have it, Nakai. You have something to do now. Please don't sound so smug. Looking at the list with a number of items ranging from paint to plywood, all written with small, neat handwriting that is undoubtedly Shizune's, I heave a sigh. I'll be going then. Waving the lawn list limply at the teacher, I exited the hallway. The classrooms closest to ours are designated belonging to classrooms 3-1 and 3-2 on the right side and 3-4 on the left side, each door looking exactly the same. Further down the corridor, still with identical doors, are rooms that I didn't think are used for classrooms. I guess the art room is not a classroom as such. I carefully push open the door and peek in. It's a classroom, but it seems rather badly kept or not in use. Am I in the right place? Desks and chairs are all around the room, a thin layer of dust settled on them. There are easels in the corner, or so at least this place looks like the right place. I am apologizing so much for the reading. I apologize. Oh my god. The room is flushed in sunlight from the big windows, shadows creeping all over the desks. Specks of dust are dancing in the stagnant air, making the beams of light almost visible. Jokingly, I call into the empty room. Anybody home? Something catches my eye and I stop mid-sentence. Sitting on the desk is a short-haired girl, curiously wearing a boy's uniform, with a fork between her toes and a morsel of food stuck firmly on the end. So I don't know if you guys... Spoilers, this is a girl I dated in my first run of the game. I think... So, not to say I have fetishes, but man, short hair, and the fact that she's wearing a boy's uniform, whew, man, sorry, I apologize. Let's get back to this. This odd way of dining seems to be caused by her apparent lack of hands, but her presence here is what takes me aback even more. How did I miss her before? She's sitting in a corner very still, but I somehow still took her as part of the furnishing or a statue at first glance. I'm not being too observant today as a whole, you can tell by my reading. The girl seems to be frozen in place, staring at me with her huge eyes like a rabbit in headlights. She's staring at me, her mouth wide open, ready to accept the fork. I'm staring at her, my mouth wide open, suddenly remember that I didn't finish my sentence and trying to think if I should. This weird stalemate keeps us both stunned in silence, punctuated only by the wall clock ticking rhythmically. Hello. The girl stuffs the forkful in her mouth and is now staring at me expectantly while chewing. This is a bit awkward. Hello. I was told to pick up some supplies from here. For some festival stalls, I think. I didn't think there'd be someone in here. There isn't. That's why I came too. Well, her voice is really deep, actually. She picks up another forkful. Doesn't that mean you're here then? She raises her eyebrows as if she's suspecting my observation was false. You are pretty observant. I guess it does. But who are you? The girl's pretty straightforward, isn't she? I'm Nakai. Hisao Nakai. I transferred in on Monday. I'm Rin. Tezuka Rin. Rin Tezuka. I won't shake hands with you, but at least we know who we are now. That's very nice. I really love her. I mean, of course, because I went with her on my first playthrough. Apparently, her story a lot of people hated. Because it's not like a normal, like, anime love story, and it's not. I will assure you, it's not. It's more like an art house movie, which is really fitting. And no, she has some... She's frustrating, but it makes the payoff all the better, you know? It's good. It's a good path. Her deadpan manner of talking makes it hard to determine whether she's joking about shaking hands or not. It kind of bothers me. Joking about these matters doesn't feel appropriate at all. Well, I'm trying to figure out what's appropriate and whether this girl is. She seems to have lost interest in me and now is gazing yearningly back at her food. Can I continue my lunch? Don't mind me, I won't mind you. You need to get your stuff? The supplies are at the back. Go right ahead, but... Lunch? School's already over for the day. What word would you use then? There's no word for a meal you eat after lunch but before dinner, right? It bothers me very much too, but I don't really know what I should say. I don't think you are supposed to eat a meal between lunch and dinner to begin with. But I'm hungry now. My delicious box lunch would go to waste otherwise. I have curry. It's very delicious. With much decisiveness, Rin once again picks up her fork between her toes, and with at least as much impoliteness. Wait, what? Rin picks up. It's so different when you're just reading it casually because it's fine, but when you're reading it out loud, Rin once again picks up her fork between her toes, and with at least as much impoliteness, she points it straight at me. So Nakai, what brings you here? What brings you to this place? Like I said, I was told to look for things. Also, can I just say, this is going to be weird. So, again, first playthrough, I dated Rin. I may... Remember, this was during the time when I introduced this to all my friends at school. I may have tried to eat my lunch with my foot like that. Now, it sounds weird. But one day I just wanted to try. My friends were like, okay, so you're dating Rin. I was the only one. Most of them picked Emmy. And so they're like, okay, you know, what did you think of her eating with her foot? And I said, that's cool, man. And so they're like, do you think you could do it? And I said, yeah. And so I did. I ate lunch like that. Now, mind you, I definitely did not look as cool as her, but I was able to do it. I have incredibly dexterous toes. In fact, right now I'm actually balancing a large pencil between them and flipping them between them like some sort of, like you would flip a pencil between your hands. I do that in a Let's Play. It's weird. I apologize. So that's, yeah. Like I said, I was told to look for these things. No, from the school. From outside you look fine. Is your problem inside? I come to a full stop, opening my mouth but not getting a word out. I can guess. I am good at guessing. Better than most people. Rin cuts me off before I can answer her and skirt around it somehow. I don't know which I would have done. I froze in front of this issue again. I haven't even told anyone here about my condition, or maybe it's only because it hasn't really come up. I do get the feeling that not making issues of this is part of the social code here, as the teacher said. I wonder if the people here could relate. Probably not better than any normal person could. I can't relate to Shizune's circumstances, or Lily's either. Naturally, while I go through this in my head, Rin keeps considering what my condition could be, with an overtly contemplative look on her face. She puts her fork between her lips and leans back, looking at the ceiling as if the answer was written up there. A beam of light illuminates her face from the window side, creating a mask of dark shadow on the other side. I don't think it's anything in your head. Something in your guts would be boringly ordinary, like this lunch of mine, and much less delicious. The problem must be in your pants. This messed up Sherlock Holmes kind of statement and the sheer lack of tact it was delivered with catches me completely off guard. I think I might have reeled back even physically as Rin's eyes widen in revelation and astonishment. So I was right. There's something wrong with your tackle, isn't it? Still partially in shock, but recognizing the need to reply to something, I spit out the first thing I can think of. No, nothing like that. I have a heart problem. Arrhythmia. I said it. More like blurted it out, but I said it. The girl in front of me purses her lips together and glowers at me, looking very disappointed. How boring. Trouble in your pants would have been much more scandalous. What's with the reaction? I'm sorry to let you down. I forgive you. Just, I collect people, and a person with, you know, that kind of problem would have been really great. Collect people? People with different problems. Huh. So you just, like, go around asking people what's wrong with them? Pretty much. I see. With little left to say, Rin resumes her lunch and the conversation dies away. But I keep thinking about what was said. It's the first time I told anyone about my condition. All the other people have either known about it already, or heard about it from someone else. Or didn't need to know about it, like every other student here so far. Should I have told her as a natural part of introductions? Is it expected of me? Hi, I'm Hisao. I have a very serious heart condition. Is that how I'm supposed to go around introducing myself from now on? As if our disabilities would define us. What a disgusting thought. Or maybe this Tezuka girl just has an unnatural interest in those things, in such things. As I walk to the back of the room to pick up the items on Misha's list, a chance opens to study Rin from the corner of my eye. Her hair is burnt auburn, almost orange, and cropped short. Long hair would be probably impossible with no arms. The boy's uniform and lack of arms make her look very thin, almost scrawny. She's not particularly pretty except for her murky green eyes which flicker relentlessly from below her short bangs. Even while she eats, I think she's very pretty. The distance and shadows make it seem like they don't reflect sunlight at all, but instead absorb all of it from within them like deep wells. She moves her feet almost as deftly as a person would use their arms. However, I could see how this could discomfort people, especially while eating. It makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable at least. I hesitate to think about the word unnatural, but it's too late now, isn't it? I keep searching the cabins and shelves for Misha's things, but after enough time passes, the silence grows too uncomfortable. So I try to force some conversation out of the strange girl. So, do you always eat alone in this late? Or do you get the occasional visitor? Visitors? Maybe you're my first occasional visitor, but I don't always eat alone either. Sometimes I eat it with a certain person on the roof if she's not horsing around. Horsing? She likes to do sports. Oh. And that's all I can think of to say. Both of us fall silent again as Rin forks the last bits of meal to her mouth. I look down at my haul and double check it with Misha's list. I seem to have everything except plywood. So I think I have all the things now. That's very nice for you. Don't feel obliged to stay. I was about to take a nap anyway. You need to do whatever you were going to do with your stuff anyway, right? Or perhaps you like to watch girls sleeping? I'm not sure what to make of this, but Rin looks serious. Even if I did, I think I should be going. I'll catch you later, Tezuka. You can call me Rin. I feel that our relationship is at this point. I feel that our relationship is at this point good enough to warrant this much. I was already turning to make my exit, but she draws me back in. Fine then. I'm Hisao. Then you are. Rin looks at me hard in the eyes, but that intimidating feeling Rin looks at me hard in the eyes, but that intimidating feeling you get when someone stares at you isn't there. It's like she's actually not looking at me at all. Okay, I'm gonna say now, she's not a stoner. She's just like this, and I actually really love that about her. Man, weird girls are the best. She blinks a couple times. Also, please, download this game and take her route yourself if you want. Trust me, I know I'm gonna get people complaining that you wished I would have taken her route. I already did her route. Take it yourself, it's so good. She blinks a couple of times, and I can't figure out why a pause like this just popped out between us nowhere. See you later, Hisao. There is something like a tiny smile in her face, maybe. Well, that was incredible. God, she's fun to talk to. I'm not feeling sad I'm not doing her story, but man, it was really good. Please, if you want, go download this game and play it yourself. Get a route. It's pretty easy. I didn't use a guide to get a route, but if you need to, just Google a route guide or whatever, and it just gives you the answer questions to get here. Thank you all for watching, guys. We'll see you next time on some more Katawa Shoujo. Ciao.